Hey guys, I'm Forrest Chappett. I'm out here doing a little review and field test of the Penny stove. It's an alcohol burning backpacking stove. It's really light, really easy to build, and I'm just going to be showing you guys a few of the features as well as boiling some water and really seeing how long it takes. Thanks guys. Alright, so here are a few, actually everything you need to operate and run this stove really successfully out in the field. Obviously you need your cooking pot, something to hold water in. It can be much smaller than that. The nice thing that I have about this GSI cook set, which I will be doing a review on later on in the year, is that it really has a lot of storage capacity inside of it, and really I can store almost everything shown here, except for the bricks, of course, in that little container over there, and that way, my whole stove system and whole camp system is actually in one small little package. So the other things you need really are matches. You don't really need that many, and this thing runs off of heat. It's actually the car starter, and you want the yellow bottle. The red bottle will work too, but the yellow bottle works much better. It's much more efficient in burning. I got these little containers at REI. They were like $3, I think. This is a little 3-ounce container, and it's got a little smaller tip on the front, so really easy to put it in your stove. And then I have some aluminum foil. This is the thick kind, so this is for blocking out the wind. And then ignore these bricks here, but I have this little pot stand that I made out of 2 coat hangers and a little piece of wood for insulation, and then the actual stove here. And you definitely need a penny. It's the one disadvantage of this stove, is that if you forget your penny, you can't cook at all. So I'm gonna do a little field test and show you guys how to light this thing. Okay, so like I said, I actually have this little bottle here of methyl alcohol, and this is what this stove runs off of. The first thing you want to do, and this is one of the hardest parts that I've found with this actual kind of stove, is that really there's no directions anywhere on the internet on actually how to light the thing, and I've never found a video about how to light it, and that was kind of the hardest part for me, at least, to figure out that process. But you always want to make sure you have a penny. And I actually heard off the internet that pennies, when they used to be copper, because they're not copper anymore, but older copper pennies are the best to go. And I think it was like 1983 when they switched that over. So if you can find old pennies, they're supposedly supposed to work better. Now what I've done here is I've built a little primer disc. And this is yet again another pop can. This whole stove is just 2 pop cans put together. So really, really easy to make. It took me probably half hour to build this whole thing, and this is fully capable of cooking meals for one person when you're backpacking. This little primer disc is a 3rd can, and I just kind of cut it out here, and what this is to do is, in order for this to work, it needs to have pressure inside of it, and that pressure is created from the heat of the alcohol expanding. So this actually heats up that alcohol and gets it ready. So I'm just going to show you guys how to go through the lighting process. To start off with, you want to open your little bottle of methyl alcohol here and put a few drops, a little more than that, into this bottom container here, into the primer disc. So now I'm going to lay the stove on top of this primer disc here, and I'm going to fill the stove with a little bit of liquid here, and you just kind of fill it up. It takes about 1.5 ounces to fill this whole thing up, and I'm not going to fill it all the way up right now. When it's full, it runs for about 15 minutes of burn time when it's all the way filled up. So, that's plenty for boiling water or doing light cooking stuff. So once you got your alcohol in there, you kind of seal up this. You want to make sure you put this away from your fire, because you don't want to blow yourself up when you're out camping. Put that over there. Now I have a big matchbox here, but really it doesn't take this many. The next thing you want to do is take your penny, and you just put your penny over these 4 holes you have drilled here. And these are these stoves, you can find out how to make them all over the internet. There's lots of different kinds and things like that. So to start with, we're going to just take a match here, and I'm going to light it. And you're going to put it underneath this primer disc in here. And it definitely lit. I can feel the heat coming off of it. The problem with these alcohol stoves is that the flame is invisible, so you can't see it when it's running except for at night. So one way to do it is kind of to hold your hand over it a ways away, and I can definitely feel it's lit right now. So I'm going to take my water here, and I'm going to put my pot on here, and I will see how long this water takes to boil. I think a lot of people kind of overlook the strengths of these stoves and just kind of deny giving them any chance only because of the simplicity of the design and really how cheap you can get it done for. I will admit that for cooking for more than one person, it is kind of a not a very smart choice. But if you are going out solo backpacking and you really only need to cook for yourself and just boil water, maybe eating freeze-dried food, stuff like that, this tiny pop can alcohol burning stove is a great option. It doesn't use any expensive gas canisters, and you can pick up the fuel for it at any store anywhere. I mean, any gas station carries heat. It helps your car start. So really it's available anywhere. And really it's almost as efficient as a camp stove. I didn't put enough fuel in right here to have it boil water, but it definitely was steaming, and I have done previous tests and it's boiled water in about 5 minutes. So, I mean, really a good option. You can have 10 more minutes after your water first comes to a boil to really get that continuous boil there. Overall, I mean, I think that really this option shouldn't be overlooked. Play around with it. Lots of directions on the internet on how to build these things, and they're a really good option for anyone looking for an affordable way to cook some meals out in the woods.